the deadlock prevention. Before getting to deadlock prevention, we have to discuss about resource allocation graph. Okay, resource allocation graph. Take this heading in your notebook, resource allocation graph. Actually, resource allocation graph is the way of representing the processes and resources and how it is assigned. Actually, resource allocation graph is an important question. You have to it will come to exam, so you have to write it in a proper way, because it is having its own significant role in the examination and syllabus. So take the heading resource allocation graph separately. Actually, resource allocation graph is a diagrammatical representation for how processes and resources are allocated. It simply says how resource is allocated to a particular process. It simply says which resource is allocated to which process is requesting a particular resource. Through resource allocation graph, we can able to understand how it is allocated and how it is working. Okay, in resource allocation graph, we have four components. Process first one is process, second one is resource, third one is request edge, then fourth one is assignment edge. Okay, these are all the four components of resource allocation graph. Okay, got my point? So these are all the four components there in resource allocation graph. We have to represent process in a resource allocation graph. We have to represent resource in a resource allocation graph. We have to represent, or we have to give request edge and assignment edge. These are all the two type of edges. That is just an arrow mark. Actually, process, actually, suppose if you are working on a Word, now we are working with Zoom. So Zoom itself created as a process in operating system. So for Zoom, what are all the resource it essential? Tell me. To conduct a Zoom class or conduct a Zoom meeting, what are all the resources are essential? Tell me. Anyone? Yes, what are all the resources are essential? We have to have a camera, right? It is an IO. We have webcam, right?
Yes, sir.
Then
Internet connection.
apart from webcam, we need RAM, hard disk space to record the video and all. So these things are very essential. Okay, these are all the resources. Then other resource, audio device, headphone I need. So these are all the resources I need to spend for this Zoom process. The same way, each and every process which is there in the operating system, or each and every process which is there in your system, should need few resources. That resource may be a memory, that resource may be a hard disk, that resource may be any other IO device, or any other thing. Okay, so you have to spend, or you have to allocate resource for each and every process. See, this request edge is used with if a process need a particular resource. Say for example, the Zoom process need this headphone IO or webcam IO. In the sense, Zoom process need to request that particular process. So that is actually called request edge. Got the point? If a process need a particular resource, it need to request that particular resource. That is called request edge. Okay. Another one is called assignment edge. Assignment edge is nothing but if particular resource assigned to a particular process that should be represented by assignment age. So one process can request one resource through request age. One resource can be assigned to one process through assignment age. Okay. Now I am going to represent how this. No, before that, before getting to the diagrammatical representation, process is represented by P, and it is actually represented in the way. Okay. P is equal to set of P1, comma P2, comma P3, comma up to Pn we can have. Up to Pn we can have. Got the point? So process is set of processes. It has P1, P2, P3 up to Pn we can have actually. So this bracket is, instead of putting this bracket, you put curly braces. That is perfect way of representation. Here I can't able to use that curly braces. Okay. So the same way, so process n number of processes are there in resource allocation graph. Each and every process is represented by a number like P1, P2, P3 up to Pn we can able to represent. Then R. Okay. R is actually
Hello.
resource. It contains set of
Hello. What?
resources
Hello.
R1, R2, R3 up to Rn we can give. Got the point? So process P is a process. Process is represented by P1, P2, up to Pn. N number of processes are there in resource allocation graph. R is nothing but a resource. So resource is represented like R1, R2, R3 up to Rn. So set of process called P, set of resources is called R. Okay. Now we have discussed about what is process, what is resource, what is request stage, what is assignment stage, and how processes are represented, how resources are represented. Okay. This should be mentioned. Got the point? Yes. Now I am going to give a diagrammatical representation for this resource allocation graph. I am going to use draw tool here. If it is, I hope you know my drawing and handwriting is a bit poor, so please adjust that. Anyway, I'm going to share the content with you, but please make note of it. So in draw, I'm going to take going to take this freehand one. So by this I'm drawing. So actually, resource is represented in the rectangular box. So this is one resource R1. Okay, R1 is a resource. This is represented by a rectangular graph. So if one dot is inside that resource, if single dot is inside that resource, single dot is inside the resource, you can able to say this resource is having only one instance. Got the point? So R1 is a resource. It is a simple rectangular box. Resource is represented in the form of a rectangular graph. Got the point? It is a rectangular graph. So only one dot is inside this rectangular box. So one instance of resource is there. Consider this R1 resource as a printer. So printer is available. So printer is one resource. So R1 is a resource. consider this as a printer. Okay, so if only one printer is connected with your system, or only one printer is available for you, in the sense one instance is there. If two printers are there, you can represent like this, two dots. Okay, no. So two instances are there. So two printers are available. Okay. Say for example, another resource I am representing in the name R2. That may be a webcam. If only one webcam is available, you can put one dot inside that rectangular box. Otherwise, you can put two dot. Okay. Then, so take the heading resource, and resource is represented in the form, in this form. Okay. Next, process. Okay, take the heading process. Process is represented with round symbol. Okay, so round, then inside that you can represent P1. Okay, so now put a round, inside that put P1. So P1 is a process that is represented with the help of circular one. Okay, I would like to take paint, because that will give some kind of comfort for me to draw. Okay, so I'm just going to use uh, paint, new bitmap image. I will try to get the pen tab or something in next class. Okay, paint is visible in your screen, right? Yes or no? It is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you. So actually, so resource is represented in the form of, I'm going to take a pencil. So resource is represented in the form of, rectangular box. Okay, simple rectangular box. You can write resource 1 here. So this is resource 1. Then process can be represented like using a circle. You can represent P1 as a process. Okay, now I'm going to tell this resource, consider this R1 as a printer. Okay, now this printer is assigned to this process P1. Okay, then we have to represent like this with this arrow mark. Got the point? So if we represent this with this arrow mark, okay, we can say the resource R1 is allocated, the resource R1 is allocated to P1. So this is this is assignment edge. Okay, request edge is totally different from assignment edge. Now the resource R1 is assigned to P1. Got the point?
Sir, we can't see any.
You're not seeing
No, we can only see what you typed.
okay, wait, I will do. Okay, now can you able to see?
Yes, sir. Now we
paint?
are able to see.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now R1 is represented in a rectangular box, right? This R1 is a resource, P1 is a process. Now this R1 is assigned to P1. So consider R1 as a printer. Now this printer is assigned to process P1, maybe your Word document. Okay. So this edge is there na. This edge is called as assignment edge. This edge is called as assignment edge. The same I am going to draw another one resource in the name R2. Okay, R2. Please assume this as R2. Okay, this as, okay, I will draw in a neat way. So, okay. R2. Okay, this is resource 2. This may be another resource. Consider this resource as a webcam. Okay, now this process P1 already got resource R1, right? This process P1 already got resource R1. Already this resource R1 is assigned to this P1. Now P1 already have printer. Now P1 need webcam also. So P1 need to give request for R2. Got the point? P1 need to give request for R2. So here we have to give request edge. So request edge should be like this. Okay, this arrow mark. Now you can say the resource R1 is assigned to P1 and P1 is requesting R2. Once this R2 is assigned to P1, you know, we can get the arrow in reverse. Got the point? Now by this resource allocation graph, we can able to say R1 is assigned to P1 and P1 is requesting R2. So this is request edge, this is assignment edge. Now we discussed about how to represent resource, how to represent process, how to draw a assignment edge, how to draw a request edge. All we have discussed. Okay, now consider an example. Now I am having single dot inside. Okay, single dot inside. What it means? Already we discussed, right? What it means? Here I have two dots inside. Here I have two dots inside. Inside this I have two dots. Okay. Now two webcams are available. Okay. Only one printer is available. So instance of this resource is 2. Instance of this resource is 1. Okay. By this, in this way, we can able to represent some resource. You know, in a scenario or in a lab, we can have n number of webcams and only one printer. In a scenario, say for example, in a lab, we can have n number of printers and only few webcams. That instances should be represented in this form. Okay, this way we have to draw resource allocation graph. Okay, I'm going to see one good resource allocation graph diagram in Google. Okay, then you can get good pictorial representation. Resource allocation graph. You go to image, you can get, okay, you can get, okay, are you can you able to see this diagram?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in this resource 1, okay, resource 1 is there. How many instances? Only one instance. Resource 2, 2 instances. Here P1, P2, P3, 3 processes are there. This process P1, now tell me, resource 1 is assigned to which process? Resource 1 is assigned to which process? Tell me. Resource 1 is actually Assigned to which process? Can anyone tell me? Resource 1 is assigned to which
P1,
process?
sir.
P1.
Yeah, good. And resource 1 is requested by which process?
P2.
P2.
Okay. Resource 1 is not assigned. Resource 1 is assigned to P1 but not assigned to P2. P2 requested resource 1. Got the point? Actually,
Yes, sir.
the problem here is why resource 1 is not assigned to P2, in the sense resource 1 is having only one instance. Okay, only one instance of that resource is available. So either it can assign to P1 or P2. So it is already assigned with P1. So P2 is requesting that once this R1 is finished its work with P1, then this can be assigned to P2. Got the point? Okay. Until otherwise, process 1 done its work with resource 1, P2 can't get this resource. Okay, that is the difference between requested. If we have two instances of resource 1, P1 can also utilize this simultaneously. Got the point? P2 can also utilize this simultaneously if it is having two instances, but it is having only one instance. So P2 can't utilize this resource 1. Okay, now consider resource 2. Resource 2 is having two instances. Resource 2 is having two instances. Couple of instances are there with resource 2. That's why this resource 2 is in a same time. Okay, in the same time, resource 2 is assigned to P2 as well as P3. In a same time instance, resource 2 is assigned to P2 as well as P3 because it is having two instances. Same way, P1 also requested resource 2, but resource 2 is having only two instances. So P1 need to wait for some time until any one of P3 or P2 have completed that. If P2 or P3 have completed its own job with resource 2, then P1 can utilize that. Until otherwise, P1 or P3 completed its own job with resource 2, P1 need to wait. Okay, this is the way of representing the scenario in resource allocation graph. Okay, you have to make note this. Okay, then it is very comfortable for you to prepare examination. If you have your handwriting, if your own writing notes in your hand, no need to spend much time for the examination. No need to spend much time for exam preparation. Within few minutes, you can simply prepare. Otherwise, you have to go through book or material. Even if you see the PPT, you have a lot of text. You have to read one by one. It takes a lot of time. That's why I'm insisting you to take running notes. Got the point? Okay, so this is all about resource allocation graph. You have other type of resource allocation graphs are there. See, it is a bit complicated resource allocation graph. See here, resource 2 is there. It is having three instances. It is assigned, P3 is requesting couple of times because it need two resources simultaneously. Already one resource is assigned. Again, it is requesting two. It need two more. So P3 need three resources from R2. Okay. So in this way, it is represented actually. Now I hope you know how to draw a resource allocation graph, how to represent the resource allocation graph, and how to deal with resource allocation graph, what is resource allocation graph, everything. I hope you clear about that, right?